Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card making space. And a very short video making a couple of very simple cards. Ralph Tyndall had another release with Hero Arts. I did a video with his last release back in August, I think. It was a few months ago. He's got a new release, and there's a variety. We've got a HeroScapes set, which builds a scene, which is all like shown on the back. So we've got a HeroScape set. There's a couple of like holiday themes that go with his previous release because there was like curtains and stage. I'm hoping I will get to do a future video using these because they're just, we've got like the light banner type, light sign, you know what I mean, sentiments, and then the little like Christmas dancers and whatnot. Love it. There's a Magic 8-Ball set. So the like sentiments and everything, and then an interactive die set. Love it. This one, I was just like, I need more hours in the day. But the set that just absolutely jumped out at me was there is the retro game die set and stamp set, which I'll show when we flip the camera down, and I'll show you guys in the video. This millennial knew exactly what I was going to make. But again, I kept it simple. I did not do, you could make it interactive, and I kind of like just briefly go over that in the video when I'm showing the dies and whatnot. But I just kept it very, very simple and just went very, very analog, very old school, and made a couple cards and just left it at that because I'm nothing if not literal, and I made it look as close to the real deal as I could. So, as always, I'll have links to all the things in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It is what helps pay the bills and keeps the channel going. I am also part of an Instagram hop to share inspiration for this release, so there will be tons of ideas, and I'm sure there'll be reels, all the things. That is something that Ralph is very good at, is the short form content. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone else makes. So I will have a link to my Instagram as well, like I always do, in the description box below the video. That's it from the housekeeping. Let's get into making this card. So this is the Retro Game Fancy die set. And it's a big die set, hence it being an XL die set. Specifically the main like card wafer die itself, which creates an A2 sized shaped card to create this like little game console. So I pulled out my ruler just to give a better idea because things always look different on camera. But this wafer die is 8.5 inches across, 5.5 inches tall. So depending on your die machine, you might need like extended cutting plates, or you could run it through and might have to shift it, up onto the plates and run it through a second time to get a full cut, just FYI, because this one is big. The other thing to note is I snipped apart all the other pieces. They are connected, and like for the buttons and everything, they're all connected, and they're actually connected in the orientation they would appear on the game console. I snipped mine apart. Just wasn't even thinking when I, first opened it. I was so excited. I was like, wait, snipped them all apart. But that still works for me. It's fine. But if you want to leave them like connected and just remove, you just have to snip apart from the actual card base wafer die. You can do that too. So whatever appeals to you. But I die cut the card base from some light gray cardstock. And then I use there's a little vent die there you saw, and I use that on the corner. Again, those are all technically lined up. And I die cut the kind of the frame of the screen with like a medium gray, and then the buttons from like a really dark gray, and then like a raspberry colored cardstock. And then I use the medium gray for the final two little buttons to create the OG retro game console, because this is literally exactly how mine looked back in the day. And there's also a game cartridge, and that will be that's a separate little wafer die. And this is where, and then there's this wafer die that cuts a little pull tab, and this is how you could make it interactive, because you can have, attach that little pull tab to the little game cartridge. You can add the little frame, that little white piece I was showing was what would cut out if you use just the frame, because those dies I kept together. But you can use a little game cartridge, and make it interactive so it pulls up like it would on the little console. I thought that was just cute. So many ways you could do this, but again, like I said, I kept mine simple. I just was kind of late at night when I was making these, and I just had to do just like this. I've seen a couple examples already. This is the stamp set, by the way. This is the retro game stamp set, which again, love it. So it's got little stamps for the actual, little console, the A and B buttons, select, start, and then a bunch of cute little sentiments, and then some little like pixel game type images. So perfect. So, like I said, I did mine very OG. I've seen a couple examples already of ones done like the little color consoles, which I got a kick when I just saw a brief little image of those. Yeah, those were the younger generation. The OG ones, they were gray, man. They were clunky little gray machines with your four AA batteries, and I played Tetris on mine. So many hours. Anyway, I used Faded Jeans Distress Oxide ink to stamp onto this, because you got to stamp the little buttons and things like the select and start and then the A and B. And then for this one, I added just that little sentiment that says new level unlocked, because I thought I'd make a birthday card with this one. And then just adhered everything into place with craft tacky glue. And then once I got the buttons in place, I would then stamp the last two little button, I don't know what you would call these, but yeah, the A and B, which yes are backwards. That's how they were on the console. And then for my little screen, I grabbed this. I have this green cardstock in my stash. I will not have a source for it or a link, because I've had this stuff for literally like 15 plus years. But I grabbed one in this sort of shade of green because, again, the OG consoles, that's kind of the color the screen was when you turned it on. We didn't have color graphics. It was just green and then like black and gray graphics. Very, very OG. Kids nowadays have no clue, So I took that green cardstock and then I stamped the sentiments and the little character with black soot Distress Oxide ink, and then just inlaid that into the front. And then for the little cartridge, I used the little white cardstock, and I'm going to add a couple more sentiments and whatnot to this one as well. So I'm going to stamp along the top of the cartridge, and then I'm going to stamp onto the white cardstock. This time I'll use colors of ink just to give it a little pop of color, because that was the only thing with those that actually had color, was the label on the cartridge. So anyway, stamped the little row of hearts with Festive Berries oxide ink and a little character with fossilized amber oxide ink. And then adhered that into place. And then this I'm just going to adhere right onto the inside of the card. This takes up, it's because the cartridge is big as it was, quite a bit of the card, but I would write on, the inside, the other side of the inside, that sort of a thing, because who cares? It's just cute. I love it. So I adhered that into place, put a block on top of it, and that finished it off. Like I said, these were simple. And I made a second one in the exact same way. I just used different sentiments from the retro game stamp set. So this first one was a birthday card. And then the other one I made when I was just playing around with this was more of like kind of an anniversary type card. I just thought that was so cute. I love that little like loading stamp and then the sentiment. And I was like, this is just, love it. Love it. How fun. So those were my very, very simple cards. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'll have links to all the things in the description box below the video, as well as a link to my Instagram account. It's definitely worth checking out to see all the inspiration and get more ideas with this release. So that will be all below for anyone who's interested. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Thumbs upping, commenting helps a ton. I very much appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!